Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my channel. I'm Mega Safitri from 4-8 class English study program, University of Riau, generation of 2018. Culture is an important factor in many sorts of conflicts that at first might appear to be exclusively about material research or negotiable interests. Therefore, conflict is non-avoidable in intercultural meetings. A conflict that occurs among individual or social groups within cultural contexts is called cross-cultural conflict. Conflict in itself is competition among individuals that relate to their perception of goals, resources, and power that might differ among them, like the way an individual perceives things, where that has a lot to do with one's cultures. Example, when brought to organizational workplace as competition and goals, the essential part of workplace, conflict will always be the most prominent part in cross-cultural meetings. Besides the tendency of humans to be strictly after that, they set their minds to organizations are inherently saturated and riddled with conflicts. Conflict management is suggested to think about and to be applied in the most constructive and transformative way in organization. When applying manage conflict can be how organization and involve individual to overgrow and contribute to job satisfaction and mental being. The resolution of conflict might differ according to the organization, supervisor, and managerial policy. However, at its roots, conflict can be constructively and gradually overcome by applying strategic move are called conflict resolutions. As we know, culture is the entire input from someone who has been growing up along throughout their life, including all the moment of her life or his life, place, college, language, etc. in someone's life, including me. The advanced conflict resolution require all parties to solve the problem instead of bargaining for the sake to fulfilling their personal objective. As a union, the orientation of this conflict resolution is to be maximize their gain as an organization rather than focusing on minimizing their respective losses. If culture is where someone get conflict, then culture is also the key answer for the problem. I mean, the resolution from that conflict, right? Yeah. There's a globally acknowledged point of how a culture should be, which is must include respect, submission, chivalry, and inherent virtues, whether religious or social culture virtues. Throughout the age, language has been evolving. Literature in the 18th century are not relevant in today's society, which is its a sign of the underlying culture evolving too. That means culture is not rigid, instead adaptable. A long culture can be made new where it is placed. For example, when you move from one place to different place, you can get new culture. The ability to adjust to the new change and culture should be employed in cross-cultural meeting as an effort to deter and lessen conflict. When the conflict actually breaks up, cultural adjustment take a big rules and goes a long way. Even you are at workplace and you have misunderstanding with your co-worker, don't be silent. You should discuss the problem or the conflict with your co-worker. If you discuss, you can get resolution from that problem or that conflict, right? The important part of resolving the problem is for the entire member to be aware of the objective, that the goals is to enhance unions gain instead of loosening one's losses. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.